Hello again, it's Matthew here from Matthew North Music. Thank you for watching my video. And if you're interested in these kind of videos, please think about subscribing to the channel because it really does help move things along. It's completely free. You just click the subscribe button and you're done. And if you want to be notified of any new videos, then if you click the little bell icon as well, then you'll always get a notification when I upload a new video. Anyway, today we're going to go a little bit back in time because this is a video I started probably in the spring, February, March time. And it's all about a computer called an OPUS PCII. Now, this is an XT class PC. Though it doesn't have the standard Intel processor, it actually has a V20 processor inside it. But otherwise, it kind of behaves like an old PC. And I'm kind of just documenting how I get on with this machine from taking it out of the box to trying to get it to do something a bit more useful. Now, I've already uploaded a video about this because I was having trouble trying to get it boot from the compact flash card. So in a sense, that video that's already uploaded is kind of part 2 and part 3. But this is the part 1, and this takes you from me opening the box, firing it up, seeing what's what, and doing a couple of little experiments. Now, this is quite a long video, and some of you might think, oh, what's this idiot doing? But what you got to remember is, this is the first time I've been fiddled around with an XT machine in over 30 years. In fact, my first computer was an XT, but it was an Amstrad. It was called an Amstrad PC 2086, and it was an 8086 based computer. But it just worked. It was all good, and there wasn't really much tinkering to be done on that machine. But this one, you know, it's much more of a project. So, you know, I hope you enjoy this video. And it is a rare computer, and I've not seen any videos about this type of machine online. So this is the first part, and I promise the next part will be more interesting. Let's have a look inside this great big box then. And on first view, this box certainly looks like it's been packaged properly. It's nice thick cardboard. The seller actually said to me that that this box, he had to wait a couple of days for some packaging material to arrive so he could send me this computer. So that's all good. And let's whip open the top. Again, more bits of cardboard. Leave all this to one side. We've got a nice trail of polystyrene squirrels that will probably go everywhere. There's our mains cable. And we've got some actually, right, here we go. Here's our discs that have come with the computer. Let's have a look inside here first. It's nice that they do appear to be original. So we've got MS-DOS 3.2, PC Utilities, GW Basic. Well, that is something I'm really glad to see. There's another Utilities disc, GW Basic, MS-DOS. These are probably just backups that, mouse on driver, so it's got a mouse driver as well. So yeah, these discs look like they're all in nice condition and they've been kept in a bag. So this is making things look very very positive indeed for this computer. Now, under here, again, this is when you get a good seller on eBay, and the shipping cost was £12.50, so that was shipping and packaging. And there's, you know, a good few pounds worth of packaging here. Now this keyboard, I can already tell I like a lot. It's really heavy. That's like a proper heavy XT keyboard. Nice clicky mechanical switches. So yeah, that's super. BTC keyboard, made in Taiwan. Does it have a date on it? I can't see a date on it. Nice metal clips there for the for the keyboard on the desk. So yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, it looks absolutely immaculate. And it's got our 5-pin DIN on the end. So that's great. I mean, you know, I almost feel I've got value for money just for the keyboard and discs, to be honest. And now we've got the main attraction, which is the computer itself. So I'm gonna whip this out of the box, and then I'm gonna pop the box on the floor, and then we'll unwrap the computer. So let me just move this big box out of the way. I mean, it's absolutely 10 out of 10 for packaging. Here's our PC2 computer then. This is the IBM XT form factor. We've got 2 floppy disks there. There's a key there, which is the lock, which hopefully should be left unlocked. The back of our machine has a mains input and output. Obviously the output daisy chains through to the monitor. Then we move across and we've got our backplane. Now we've got our keyboard socket here. This 5-pin DIN's been added. It's 15-pin DIN, so it's been added. I assume that's a games port. Then we've got a serial port there, which will be for a mouse. We've got our IBM CGA graphics card here. So we've got composite video here, and we've got the component video there. And there's some sort of reset switch there. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to whip the top off and we'll have a look inside. There we have then our PCXT in all its glory, and on first glance, I mean, it looks immaculate. It looks absolutely immaculate. Now we've got 3 cards in the computer. This is our IBM CGA graphics card. This is our disk drive controller. This looks like a serial or parallel card of some description. You may be able to see here that's our D-type connector, and that's going to a ribbon cable that's actually connected to the main board. So I'm not quite sure what that's for. It may be an additional keyboard connector, I'm not too sure. But everything looks okay inside the computer. We've also got some power connectors here for additional drives. There's drive bays here, so we could have a hard drive and thing inside. You can't see it, but there's a loudspeaker here. And yeah, everything kind of looks exactly as it should do, really. I think that switch on the back is just the reset switch. I've just got a Toshiba monitor plugged in with the composite going in out the back of the computer. Boot record not found, strike any key to reboot. So, and it's saying it's 480, which is probably about right. So yeah, our computer does appear to work. So if I do I can't find the delete key on here. Where's the delete key? I don't even, oh, it's there. Come on. Ooh. I can't find, there isn't a delete key on here, so I can't do a Control-Alt-Delete. It doesn't matter though, because I'm going to use this MS-DOS disk that's come with the computer, and I'm going to pop it into the top drive. Now I hope this is drive 1. And, well, it's certainly reading the disk. So, boot record not found. Okay. Oh, there was already a disc in there. How funny. Right, let me just pop that one back in and strike a key to boot. Disk boot failure. Oh, it's doing a bit more now. Enter new date. Okay. There we go. MS-DOS version 3.2. So if I type in dir, and that's got all the stuff on there that you'd expect on a computer like this. Now, I was really chuffed to see it had a utilities disk, so I'm going to pop that into drive B, and we'll type in B drive, type in dir, and see what's on there. Okay, on the screen then, we've got Park C, Park D, Park CD. So they're for parking the hard drives, because in the old days, you actually had to park the head of the hard drive, or else it could cause damage. Turbo PC, that's probably to turn the computer's turbo mode on and off, because there isn't a switch. There's a thing called demo exe, which we'll have a look at that in a minute. And yeah, let's type in demo and see what happens. There we go. So we've got date and time, music, page up, page down, pause, escape. What's music? Oh, look at this. If we press F2, will we get any music? How great is that? It's playing a little tune. I don't quite know how we turn this off, by the way, but okay. There doesn't seem to be a way to get out of this. There we go, Control-Alt-Delete. I found the delete key, it's down here, of course, on the numpad. So let's just watch it do a full boot. And it doesn't seem to do a memory test or anything, but it does say 1986. Oh, it's asking me new date and time again. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. Now, I think we had a disk for GW Basic. Now, this is a program that we used to use at college. And I remember it being quite good. Okay, right, GW Basic. There we go. So, right, let's do the old thing. 10, print. Now, of course, it's American keyboard. So, of course, the quotes mark and the at ones are reversed. So, hello, world. 20, go to 10, run. There we go. That is so good. This was a floppy disk that came with the Computer magazine in the early 90s, probably about May 1991. And I'm not 100% sure what size the disk is, but I'm going to have a look. So we go to B drive and go dir. And it's there. So CD games. Now, this disc had my favourite version of Frogger on it, and I've never been able to play it on any computer because they've all been too fast. Everything from like a 486 onwards, too fast. So if I type in Frog, let's see if it will run on this machine. I mean, it may not run because of I'm using the composite and not the higher res output, but we'll see. There we go. It's running at the correct speed. The colours are terrible. I don't even know what keys I'm supposed to use on this. Now, I'm going to be doing a lot of mods on this machine, as in fitting in new peripherals, etc. I'm going to build an adapter to run the native CGA out of the computer into a monitor. But just the fact this is actually working and it's playing Frogger, albeit in super low resolution, I'm really, really chuffed with this. One thing with a computer like this is, how do you actually get software onto it other than using a floppy disk? Well, there is quite a simple way. And for this experiment, I need two things. I need a USB to serial adapter cable, like this one, to hook up to any kind of modern Windows computer. I need a null modem cable. Now, this is a modem cable where the data wires are reversed, so you can go from serial port to serial port. And I've got a 25-way D on this one, which is what's on the back of the computer. And as an aside, I haven't put it in yet, but I've also recently acquired a parallel port card for the computer as well here. That's so I can connect a printer or any other parallel port device to it, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. So if I just plug in my serial port into my laptop, I think I've got a socket somewhere along here, and hopefully the computer should pick this up. Okay, it's showing up now as USB serial COM5, so that's good. And our two computers are now connected together via the serial port. And this is the software I'm using. It's called Fastlinks. Now, I used to use this years ago on a DOS system when I used to do stuff at work. Now we're connected, I need to get a piece of software into the DOS machine. Now the DOS machine should have a piece of program in the DOS folder called mode.exe. And if we go to File, there should be Upload DOS Slave. So if we click on that, the upload command is used to transfer a copy of Fastlinks DOS Slave to the DOS computer over compile. To proceed with this upload, connect Fastlinks cable between computer and so I'll go next. And it's on COM5, I think it's COM1 on the next machine. And now it's scanning the COM port. I've just realised I've got to type in something on the other machine. So let's go to the DOS machine. And I need to type in mode COM1 colon 2400. I'm guessing that's to set the baud rate. Then it's comma N comma 8 comma 1 comma 1 comma P. So hit return on that. Resident portion mode loaded, and then I got to type in CTTY COM1. Enter. Receiving bootstrap slave. So it's now talking to the machine. And if I look at the Windows machine, you can see it's uploading the slave. So this is actually working, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it's doing its thing. Connection established. Receiving slave exe. I'm just quickly now formatting another floppy disk because I kind of think if I've got a bit of extra storage space on the other machine, bearing in mind this computer doesn't yet have a hard disk, then all being well, then it'll just give me that bit of extra space. And it means I can then get some apps and utilities or whatever off the internet, and I can actually copy them straight to a floppy disk, which, you know, is absolutely brilliant. Now I've formatted a floppy, I'm just going to run the slave program, which should run off the floppy disk on here. And it says it's waiting for a connection, so I'm now going to go to... Oh, there it is, it's connected. Okay, well, I'm not actually sending anything at the moment, so I think what it's doing is just scanning the port. So let's try and copy some software across. So on my Fastlinks machine, this is our slave machine here. And I wonder if I can actually just look at what's on there. I'm not sure. Now I've changed a couple of things. I've made the baud rate 3840, which is what the computer seems happy on. And I've also turned off acceleration because I think that might kind of have a problem. But let's try connecting it anyway. Yeah, and that seems to have connected straight away now. So if I now drag my file across, and it's saying error receiving packet. So let's cancel this. There we go. I managed to get it to work. What had happened was I was running on the wrong baud rate, and I changed it to 9.6 which is kind of standard serial protocol, and it worked. So I'm now going to try and copy my first file across. So I've now crossed over, and it says its source file does not exist in, so let's go transfer. It's actually transferring the file to the disk. And transfer completed successfully, so I go OK. So it's done its thing. So if I now just hit the escape key on here, we exit and I do a dir, and there's my ever after text file. So if we want to now look at that on the screen, if I go name start.txt ever txt, that's better. Okay, so I'll go type ever.text. There we go. It's all there. The lyrics to one of my songs with the chords that was originally written in Word, turned into a text file, then copied from a Windows 10 machine to a DOS computer via a serial connection. And it works. Absolutely amazing. Now we've got this working then, I'm able to transfer some software. So a useful piece of software is an unzipping program. So I've just uploaded PK Unzip. Again, another program I probably haven't used for getting on for 30 years. If we look here, we're seeing the A drive, but as I mentioned, I'd formatted a disk in the B drive. So if I now select that drive, it's now looking at the B drive and it all seems to be there. So I'm now going to copy another program, which this time I'm going to the B drive. And there we go. It does take a long time, but it does work. Well, I've just whipped the top off this computer because I want to pop in this parallel port card. But just in case you were wondering, if you can see down there, I'll try and get the camera in a bit closer. That coin cell, or large coin cell, is our CMOS battery. And it's flat at the moment, but because it's not remembering the time, but it's not leaking or anything, and I will order one of those up and get a new replacement, and then hopefully all our functions and everything will all work fine. There it is. It's set to it's got some jumpers here that you can probably see, and it's got the what they all are. Okay, now I think it's this disc here is a utilities disc that I'm going to pop into the B drive. It's saying it's got a mega memory, it's got a colour display card, although it's not outputting in colour on the composite. I don't know if that's because there needs to be a tweak, or you need a special driver, or if it's because you can only use it with the D-type connector. I'm not sure. But it's got two drives, which is A and B. And we've got our printer port in, a games port which is connected to the motherboard. Really rare thing to have on a PC, certainly in 1986 when this machine was made, because you wouldn't have normally thought of a PC for games back then. You know, these were seen as business and educational machines. There's our serial port that we used for the fast links. And then it's got this turbo thing as well, and it runs at 2 speeds, and you use a piece of software to turn the turbo on and off, which I haven't yet set up. I just took the disk drives out because I wanted to give the heads a quick clean, and there is not a speck of dust anywhere. I have literally never seen a floppy disk drive this clean in my life. A couple of days have passed since the last bit of this video, and 2 things have arrived in the post. Now, the first thing that's arrived is inside here. And this should be a battery. So there's our coin cell battery, quite a large coin cell, and that's for the CMOS BIOS in the computer. So I'm going to pop that in. And then we've got the contents of this packet here, which is a little bit more substantial. And we should have, all being well, all the way from Bulgaria, a little box. And inside this little box we have a card. And in this card is an 8-bit ISA to compact flash adapter. Now, you can buy this as a blank PCB and populate the components yourself. My issue is we've got a surface mount based connector here, and I've never done surface mount before, and I'd probably make a pig's ear of it. That being said, I might get one of those surface mount practice kits and have a go, pop it in, see what happens. Anyway, I think this has come pre-configured, ready to run. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in a compact flash card and then we'll stick it into the computer and see what happens. Now on the rear of this card it's also got all the jumper settings and what they need to be set to. And I can't really read that, so I'll have to use a magnifying glass or even take a photograph of it and blow it up on the computer. Well, the card is in and the computer is booting, which means it's not caused any problems yet, which is a good thing. And it's seen my flash card and it's booting into DOS, which is great because that's a version of DOS which I didn't configure on this machine, but I got a funny feeling it might not run because it might be, because the compact flash card is not set for this type of machine, I think it's not going to work. And this is the point where we leave this video, because I spent hours and hours and hours trying to get the machine to boot. I used different types of cards, I formatted them on different machines, I partitioned them on different machines, I used DOS 3.2 to format the card, I used various other ways of trying to format the various cards, and the same problem happened. They just would not boot past the thing saying loading MS-DOS. So that happened on the first one. That first card, I actually made the card up by formatting it on a different machine, on my 486, and then I made it bootable and I just plonked it in. And it got to that point and then it didn't like it. And I did then get to the stage where I swapped out the floppy drive and I put a 3.5-inch drive in, and I was able to boot quite happily using a 3.5-inch drive, using 720k discs. Now I had to make the 720k discs by covering over the hole with a bit of sellotape, putting it in my 486, so my 486 thinks it's a 720. Then I could format it, copy across some of the DOS commands, and then slap it in, and that all booted fine, but I couldn't get the card to work. In the end, which you will see on the other videos, I basically just had to use smaller compact flash cards. Using the compact flash card below 20 megabytes, everything works perfectly. I've tried 8 megabyte cards and I've tried a couple of 16s. They all work fine. So that's how I'm going to leave it. The next part of this video, you will hopefully see me getting things like sound cards in there working. I'm going to try swapping out the graphics card and a few other bits and bobs. Haven't done any of that yet. Hopefully I'll do that in the next week or so. Anyway, thanks for watching this video and I'll catch you on the next one.